already dawned to realize that's not my event.
Yeah, I know, but I've had a couple of calls this morning, and I just got one now that people think it's our thing.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not. I'm not in charge
I'm
of
going
this.
like, and I got to call her back in just a second. Please don't let me forget to do
I
that.
won't. I've had several people send messages. I'm like, I'm not in charge of this. It's at my facility, but I'm not in charge.
Yeah, they're just, and they're showcasing their electronics,
which
are fabulous.
Fabulous.
And welcome to the Joe Taylor Show. I was just giving everyone the behind the scenes view of what happens here. What a fun show. We apologize. Jeff's feeling under the weather today. So good news. He prayed over everything. The show was going to go well. And let me actually shoot it on down since this is the Mayor Joe Taylor Show. Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
And with you today, you brought two ladies, that are bound by class and sophistication.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And both of them, their first name's Doctor.
That's a
Dr. Farrah Hayes
Doctor.
from the Challenger Learning Center and Dr. Teresa Ray.
Thank you.
And she's on the advisory board for the Challenger Learning Center, and we're just thrilled to have them. It's just our chance to kind of reach out and start telling people a little bit more about when they're going to open and what they do. And I think it's the right time.
Well, I think we've done a good job of teasing it because I don't think I'm not going to speak for Jeff, but I'm not intelligent enough to understand what it all does. But it looks great.
We agree.
Well, thanks.
Always count on my mayor there. Hey, you ladies introduce yourself. Teresa, you've been on before. Everybody knows who you are. So we'll start with.
So I'm Farrah, and I'm the executive director of the Challenger Center, and I'm at Challenger pretty much all day, every day, learning how to fly missions and do STEM and just promoting it as much as possible. But Teresa is one of my mentors. I worked at the college, and she mentored me and then convinced me I should help build a space center in Rainbow City, which sounds insane when you say it out loud.
It's a logical place.
Logical progression.
Sure. Miss Teresa, you've done a lot of things over an illustrious career.
I have.
What made this the right thing for you?
Well, I started out life as a scientist, as a research scientist, and learned very quickly that there was no demand for a research microbiologist in Gadsden, Rainbow City. So I reinvented myself as an educator, and it became the love of my life.
Awesome.
I spent a lot of time at Southside High School teaching biology, physics, computer science. I was later their counselor, and then I went to Gadsden State, where the whole world opened up for me.
Sure.
So I retired there as their dean of students, and enjoyed every single minute of it. But when I retired, I actually had a plan, but it kind of didn't fill up all the time that I needed it to fill up, and we had a friend who sits on the National Space Science Board. Yeah. Anyway, he suggested that perhaps we needed one of these things in Gadsden, Rainbow City. And Martha and I talked it over for about 6 weeks and kicked it around. And then we put together a group of businessmen and women. Martha and I are the only 2 educators on the original board. And those folks, it just kind of lit a fire under them to bring STEM education to Alabama. This also, it's not just STEM education. It's not just space science. This is introducing students to things that maybe they wouldn't have had a chance to learn about in any other way. We hope that this is going to open doors for students in all the STEM careers, whether they're looking at a certificate in, HVAC, welding, industrial automation, or whether they're looking at a PhD in engineering. We want to make sure that we serve students throughout that entire continuum to make sure that they know what's out there and what suits them. Hence, we have the Challenger Learning Center, and we have is kind of 2 halves of a whole there. We do the space simulator. We'll fly you to Mars and make you believe you are on Mars in a spaceship. The other half is STEM education, where we're covering, Farrah, help me, robotics, drones, avionics, what else?
Lego science.
Yeah.
We have a 3D computer system. It's called Z-Space, and it covers everything from medical to botany to building a house. So we want to offer an opportunity for teachers to have a little voice and choice over what their students do when they come to Challenger, so that students aren't just going rogue, but they get to have some agency over what their students are participating in. And so while they have a space science experience on the Challenger side, they also have a very meaningful STEM experience that connects to something they're learning in class.
That's a lot.
I know,
okay?
it's a lot, for sure.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes.
I think it's easier to just sum it up and say that I was on the original board, and when I went to the first meeting, and the first meeting only, and I thought this thing might actually work. I knew Dr. Lavender, and also knew Teresa, and knew how they felt about this, and so I actually recused myself from their board because I knew I was going to go after it. And I think that we made the right decision. They made the right decision, but I don't think people really understand just how important this learning environment is going to be for their children. And I think with what Teresa was saying, just to add on to that, this is a workforce development school.
Yes.
And which is the one thing that, because of us having the near mega site close by, and with Mint coming into Gadsden, if you look at all of those components that are beginning to kind of line up and us find that alignment, what we're finding out is that we don't have a shortcoming yet. But if we don't begin to initiate STEM learning, we can find a shortcoming quickly. And I think we're going to head that off by.
We're honored to be in Rainbow City. I can't tell you the amount of support that we have gotten from Mayor Taylor, his staff, the city council, and the community at large. It's just absolutely been overwhelming, and we couldn't have done it without them.
No.
It's just not possible.
Even Coach Vice.
Even
Coach Vice, he's
yes.
beautiful. Absolutely. Well, and we're a little different than most Challenger Centers. So the nearest Challenger Center to us is in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay.
And the furthest away is in Seoul, South Korea. And most Challenger Centers sit on a college board or a college campus or on a school campus, like in a retrofitted building. So we're the first and only Challenger Center to ever have been built from the ground up.
That's awesome.
I know. So it's quite a flagship for us and for the Challenger organization at the franchise as a whole.
It's a beautiful facility. It really is spectacular.
is.
That made her smile, Joe.
Yeah, there's no doubt. She's proud of that. She needs to be.
That's pretty special. So for the person who doesn't have kids in school or anything, just talk a little bit about, hey, they can still come check it out too.
Absolutely. So we are planning some community events as we go toward the grand opening and then beyond. One of the things that we're going to do this summer is actually an adult learning how to 3D print for adults who are trying to learn about 3D printing, because 3D printing is intimidating.
Sure.
And
sure.
it is really hard to explain to people. Until you see it, it's hard to understand. So we'll have some 3D printing classes. We also have some professors because we are the Jack State STEAM Institute. So we're a part of Jacksonville State University, a partner to them. We will have some of their teachers come over and teach some mini classes, just to offer the community and adults who want to continue learning just an opportunity to come in. We also fly missions for companies or for different offices. So we did the entire human resource department at JSU came to flew with us.
Heck yeah.
And they had the best time. So we do all kinds of those kinds of events. Absolutely.
So I just saw, Kapow mixed in. We're going to have a Kapow. I can see something happening with that.
Yeah, like a team building
We could
exercise.
do
Yeah,
a
it would
team
be.
building
Or
exercise.
contest.
I would just warn you that the only job I've ever actually lost was to a fifth grader that I was on her weather team in Chattanooga, and she turned around and told me, "You're not so good at this anymore."
That's
And I was terminated at that point and moved over, and I was told, well, you can go over here and talk on the radio. And so I will say this, it's incredible to be in there with these fifth graders and see these kids working and solving problems and doing things that, quite honestly, we could not have done it. I can't do them now, and I couldn't do them at any age in my life. And watching, our future just grow out of those problem-solving exercises, it's pretty miraculous, if you ask me.
And this is way more than just local. This is regional. This is going to bring students from all over.
All over. We have 12 counties, so that's about 33 school systems, about 52,000, and we're counting public school systems. We have a lot of private schools that we're already partners with. So Westbrook Christian School is a partner, as well as the Donahoe School in Calhoun County. So about 52,000 students is our reach. Now we know we
Wow.
can't serve that many kids in 1 year because that would mean I would have to live at the center.
Do you not?
Which she does
I
now
do
anyway.
sometimes. So but we have a lot of options for doing outreach as well. So one of the things that we have prided ourselves on is doing our satellite challenges, which are virtual missions. And we have actually already flown 1,200 students in the past 3 months on satellite missions. So
That's incredible.
if a school can't come to us, we will find a way to get to them.
You know, a lot of our schools are in rural areas. You know, we're planning this model on, it's a 90-minute bus ride. That's the max to get there, do the missions, do the STEM activities, eat lunch, and get back to school before dismissal. So, you know, we're doing a lot of virtual activities and reaching out. And one of the things that we're doing first off right now is our STEM 250. This is part of Alabama's, I see it's America 250 Alabama
Right.
at the state level. It's a competition for 5th and 6th grade students throughout our 12 county area. And what they've got to do, and this is a big order, I can say it in a sentence, but it's still a big idea. They have to pick over the last 250 years what they think is the greatest invention or innovation by Americans that changed America and the world. And they have to defend it with 3 well-reasoned justifications. It's a tall order. I challenge you. What do you think was the best invention over the past 250 years?
I'm going to go with my Keurig coffee maker. And just know that one of the inventors of that is he's a doctor. He teaches at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And you know, they made the prototype for the Keurig in Gadsden.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
I'm very, very big on my Keurigs.
Wow.
I know.
How about that, Joe
I'll put you
Taylor?
on my trivia team.
Yeah, I'm in.
How about that?
I know a lot of useless stuff. It's the only thing I have.
That's how I ended up building the Space Center.
Joe said he's doing my job over there, which
Yeah,
is
no
easy.
kidding. I am.
Which is it's the best seat in the house.
It is.
Well,
It's an easy job.
Jeff normally pilots this thing, right?
Okay.
But he's back watching. He's into space. He loves. He still thinks the Earth is flat.
It's okay. There's a few
And
of those.
I'm just kidding. No. He loves. His family and his wife's an educator.
Mm-hmm.
She's a principal at Atala Elementary School, and they're so excited. He asked me to steal your keys so he can take a private tour and wants to fly.
We'll do a private tour.
I will
We'll do it.
We'll be glad
be
to.
glad to.
I got to see Jeff in one of those jumpsuits, Joe.
For sure.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
That's what it's
Uh,
like.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
With the
Well,
head, with the headset on, do the
He's
computer.
slimming down a little bit.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We get all sizes. We get all sizes. We're not body shaming.
She looked at me when she said that, Joe. I'm not sure how to take that. Yes, they got fat sizes too.
Yeah.
So Atala Elementary School was one of the first schools that I went to do a program called Postcards to Space. So for the past year before we had a building, I lived out of my car, and the Challenger Center had 4 wheels and just drove from school to school. And I would have my flight suit ready to go. I could put on a show if you needed me to. And so Atala Elementary School invited me to come do
Heck yeah.
Postcards to Space, which is a program that we work with the Challenger with Blue Origin. And the kids fill out postcards, and then we send them to Blue Origin, and they go up in space, they get stamped and sent back to the kids. So it's a pretty cool program.
So obviously space is everywhere right now. It's the big topic. And with the mission we just had, you guys want to talk about that and how exciting it is for you?
It really, there couldn't be a better time for Artemis to have launched, and then we get to open in just a few weeks.
We think NASA planned that to support us.
Yes,
Good
I
for
think
NASA.
that they were. There could not be a better time. And I am not going to say that I know everything about space, because I do not. I was an English teacher, and my board knew that when they hired me. But it is when I just spoke to Stripling Elementary School this morning, and I was able to connect the Challenger mission to the Artemis mission, and how it kind of comes full circle, because the Challenger 7's families are the reason why Challenger exists, because they wanted space science to continue. And so there's sort of this continuum as a whole for the Artemis mission and what they're doing, pioneering something that hasn't been done, and now trying to put someone on the moon, to grow food, to find a way to have a sustainable resources on the moon. So it's pretty amazing.
Throw your questions here. That's a good one. What's your favorite planet that's not Earth?
Ooh. So
Mars.
I know most about Mars, and the reason why I say Mars is because one of our missions that we do, Expedition Mars, it really makes sense because it's kind of the plan for how we're going to try to occupy Mars and grow things, and we know the most about Mars. So I would say Mars. It's very interesting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Mars, 100%. It's well, it's not Earth, but it's the most next livable planet possibly,
Okay.
with some modifications.
Yes, with a little radiation issue, but we're working on that.
Joe, that was for you too. Man. What's your favorite planet, Joe?
Mine's Jupiter.
Oh.
And Saturn, because those are the two that I can see from my house with my telescope.
Look at you.
I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I don't think people really see that out of me because I'm so cool. But I actually, I'm a cool nerd. Yeah,
Jeff, get your boy.
I like those things.
Somebody said bring Pluto back.
Amen.
Hey, Pluto got done wrong.
I'm bad rap.
Yeah.
Don't
let me
say
tell
that's
you.
not a planet, man.
That Pluto will be, so when you walk into Challenger, we have all the planets hanging down, and Pluto is there.
Is
Good.
there?
Pluto
Yes.
has to be there.
As it should
Okay.
be.
Pluto got represented, so
It's represented.
yeah, we're not leaving him behind.
No.
Somebody said Joe's favorite planet is Uranus.
No, Jerry
knew
said
that
that.
No. It's
Okay.
documented.
Okay, so it's there. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Marley Smith. Fairhays is the best. Everything she touches will turn to gold.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Let me throw you my debit card,
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
Let me just see.
Shout out to Marley.
No, I will say this about Farrah, and I try not to toot her horn any more than I need to, but we were in one of our board meetings, and Dr. Lavender was really wanting to kind of let the cat out of the bag about who the CEO is going to be, and she looks across the table, and I just kind of whispered who, and she looked at me and she went, Farrah Hayes, and I went, that's not real, that's impossible, and I went, that's unbelievable. Well, she kind of made a very closed-in announcement that night, and I was just like, I can't believe that we were able to get Farrah.
Well, we talked about it on the show,
Yes.
and we said that's an absolute coup.
Yes.
That is a
Yes.
home run.
Well,
Yeah.
and I would never have been never would have taken the chance, because it is a risk when you say, I'm going to build a space center in Rainbow City.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I have a board. My board members are amazing, and they are the wind beneath my wings. Teresa, I call her one of my handlers, and Martha, one of my other handlers, and Jennifer. We have such an involved board, and that I, like yesterday, I had a faucet issue, and I sent a picture of it to my board members that help me with construction, and answer in like 3 seconds. It takes no time. I can call Joe Taylor and be like, hey, I'm going to need a golf cart, and let me get it for you. The Parks and Rec guys at any moment can help me. But it's just an incredible environment to work in, and I wanted to take that risk because I wanted to work with these amazing people.
So Joe would just win another golf cart.
Just another one.
Yes.
I'm a lucky guy.
He really
There's no
is.
doubt about that.
So we had the bet that Jay Freeman would arrest you and not let you leave Gadsden State. That's
he
what we
was
thought.
not happy.
That's what we thought for sure. Well, we're sure thankful for it. Hey, let's go back to the actually building the facility. Local people in that as well?
So Trent Thrasher Construction, they're
We love
amazing.
Trent.
Trent Thrasher and his team, Chloe and Jessica, huge shout out to them. They're amazing. Are our contract managers, or I would say they're designers, project managers. They are incredible. And our building, everyone says there's no way it's going to be ready by this time or this time. I'm like, you have no idea. They can make things happen so quickly. They really focus on using local businesses to help build Challenger. So I've gotten to know a lot of different contractors, and I don't think the contractors always know what to do with me when I'm blaring Whitney Houston through the halls and singing and dancing, but it's okay. It's a fun environment.
You don't talk much, do you?
I don't.
No.
Very shy.
Very low energy. Can I
Very
get you a
low
Monster
energy,
Energy
yes.
drink or something? Joe, what does this mean from a mayoral standpoint into how important this is to the city of Rainbow City?
It's critically important. I've said from the very beginning that this is a big part of our comprehensive plan. That when we came into office, we said we were going to set a vision for the city, and this is one component that we at that time didn't see coming. But now that it's plugged in, because I think it was the very first meeting that I took with someone that I believed that was going to be a part of our our overall plan for the city was with Don Killingsworth over at
Yes.
Jacksonville State University, and met with Don, and Ralph Burke actually set our meeting up.
Yes.
Great guy, just a wonderful person. And Ralph set us up. We went and had lunch, and I said to Don, I need Jacksonville State University represented inside my city for one simple reason, and mine will always come back to this. Yes, workforce development, but it's economic development for a city to have a 4-year institute representing its city. And that's the thing that Don said. We'll find our way over into Etowah County for sure, but we'll find our way into Rainbow City. And he did that just a few months ago when he came in with Challenger, and I immediately remembered that was my very first meeting as mayor. And so when you get to kind of check off those boxes, and that being an incredible one to check off, was to know that we now have a 4-year institute that's represented inside this city. And I get to use that as a bragging point.
Sure.
When I go and tell someone, move here, move your family, move your business into Rainbow City or into our area, because I'm a very regionalized thinker when it comes to this area. I believe in Etowah County and the surrounding counties, and I think that this is one of those things that I can't believe it happened for us. I really can't. It's one of those dreams fulfilled for us.
Yes, and Jacksonville State has been so welcoming and open to us and been so helpful. And I'm a Jack State graduate, 3rd generation Jack
Fear
State.
the beak.
That's us. Go Cockies. So I, 3rd generation graduate, it was such a very big deal for me to join the Jacksonville State faculty and staff. And they have been nothing but welcoming and so excited about Challenger. And we're going to have a special event just for Jacksonville State faculty and staff to come and see Challenger and bring their families, because I always say to people when they say, there's nothing like Challengers, nothing's been done like this before. And I think back when I was a kid and the Hardin Center for Cultural Arts opened, and I started playing piano and I started playing the flute and I joined the orchestra, and that forever changed my life. And so this is going to do the same thing, but with STEM.
There's nothing she can't do.
Just a renaissance.
But it's just like I think about that in terms of a STEM and how we're going to open doors for kids that weren't there before.
City Councilman Randy Weiss said we actually had a young man decide to transfer to Southside High School and live in Rainbow City due to the Challenger Center. He and his parents love space and aeronautics.
Well,
Oh,
fantastic.
wonderful. Welcome to Southside.
Welcome to Southside. Welcome to Rainbow City.
Yes.
And so with all these, Joe, I know you love social media. You love the comment section of social media.
I do like that. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm not afraid to.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, you're not afraid. You're not
He's an
afraid.
influencer.
I love the fact that, I don't know if you saw the latest, there's a poll going on about what's going in the Wendy's building.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff. You want to talk about any of those opportunities and the fake opportunities? That people think are coming?
Most of those, of course, are fake, where people are just taking AI and putting in
Which is
sign
great.
they want to
Which is
build,
great.
Which is hilarious.
Last night it was In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, that would be
I
be
love
nice.
that. I will say this, Jeff and Lisa immediately went to work on filling that building. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to bring something back into the city. There's nothing that I can say right now that I feel comfortable with saying, but everybody knows that our city's growing, and we're growing at a very rapid pace, and we're just going to continue to maintain that synergy and make a little bit more out of a little bit less, and we're doing that right now.
Both the Culvers and the Milos got really exploded.
Those are two good ones. Now I'm a big Culvers and a Milo's fan,
Sure.
so I'm okay with either one.
Okay.
Of those.
But In-N-Out won the vote.
Man,
that's right.
that would be magic. That would be magic.
That would be incredible.
It'd be the first time that happened ever.
Yeah, it would be good.
Outside of the South.
So take us kind of a soup to nuts, quick version. Someone walks in the door. What is the process?
Okay, so we really focus on bringing school groups in. So let's say you're a teacher and you want to bring your students to Challenger. So the first thing you would do is go online to challengeral.org. Beautiful website. Thank you, Jason. I have to give him a shout out.
Jason Gwynn.
He's Lookout IT. Amazing.
Sure.
So the teachers would go fill out an interest form. Then one of my staff, either me or one of my staff members, would contact that teacher. We would figure out, days, times, where they are, how long it would take to get there. we would explain to them the mission. So every kid is assigned a job. And so we would help the teachers figure out who should be in what job. So for example, if don't have a kid that's really strong in math, might not need to be in the weather station. If you have a bossy kid that likes to talk, definitely needs to be in the comms officer, definitely. And so we walk through the whole mission with them, and then we give them a menu of options to choose from their STEM programming. And so they could do ZSpace, our 3D print company, our 3D computer process, and then we have Lego science, we've got robots, drones, everything you can think of. So we let them choose what they want their students to engage in. And so we go through that whole process, we figure out the times, and then we put it on the calendar. But we also do specialty groups. So we actually have several groups from like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, 4-H participating as well. So if someone has a group that's not a school group, they can still participate too, like church groups, youth
Homeschoolers.
groups, homeschoolers.
Homeschoolers,
We
yes.
have a homeschool opportunity actually posted on our Facebook for May. I'm going to look at it so I get
Please.
it right. Okay, so May the 12th, I believe. Let me double check. It's on our Facebook and it is on our website. And so homeschool groups can come on, I'll tell you. All right, it is on May 12th from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And it's going to allow them to engage in, they can do a mission, they can do a mini mission, participate in STEM, but all they have to do is go to our website, challengeral.org, and go to events, and they'll see homeschool STEM events. It's also on our Facebook page.
One thing about our curriculum, too, is that teachers get to choose what is most relevant to their class
Sure.
at that point in the
That
academic
makes
year.
sense.
One of the things as a former science teacher that I know is that you can stand in front of a classroom and write on a whiteboard all day and half the night. But if you put a kid in the lab actually doing science or doing math or doing engineering, it makes a huge difference in how the student learns and processes that information, but also retains it.
Sure.
So the teachers get to pick the STEM lessons that
Yes.
are most appropriate to wherever they are in the curriculum at that particular point in the year.
I love the fact that lately Coosa Christian has been posting their students in the labs doing dissections and stuff.
Yes.
It's the look on some of these kids' faces is awesome, by the way.
Well, see, that's where ZSpace comes in, because ZSpace is a virtual thing. And trust me, I taught biology for years, so I totally understand that look. You know, I've seen it and the after effects of it as well.
Oh.
We won't go there. Anyway, but the ZSpace programs, and this is a huge program. It's a virtual program where you've got, each kid has a laptop in front of them, and as long as you are in the zone, you know, you can take the stylus and pull what's on the screen out into the air in front of you, and then
Wow.
It doesn't
dissect that
It's crazy.
frog, or
Wow.
watch that butterfly go from chrysalis to
Yes.
you know, full-grown butterfly or moth.
It looks like sorcery. It's
It
crazy.
does.
It
Yeah.
makes no sense. And when you're looking at, you're trying to grab what's in front of you. One of the things that we can do is take apart the heart. Last week we did training. We actually learned how to take apart different animals and put them back together, and learn about their nerve system, their bone structure. So it's something for everyone.
Danny Starnes, who's a great just friend to Etowah County in general, asked, just wondering if there needs a community to help. I mean, you guys have needs where people can volunteer.
We do. We have a volunteer corps that's in the process of forming. Most of these are retired teachers
Yes.
from the area, you know, Etowah, Calhoun, you know, other surrounding areas. We want those teachers to be involved as adults and as examples to our students who come through. And also, you know, kids get excited when they come in. They're middle school students, man, they're looking here and there. And
I hear
everywhere.
adults get excited.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah, but what we want those folks to do is not teach the lessons. We got professional staff to do that. What we want them to do is help with instructions, or help with, okay, let's go to this station, or let's go to this station, or
Yes.
you know, those kinds
Sure.
of things that are classroom management kind of stuff. But they act as mentors, as examples, as assistants, as simply volunteers. You don't have to teach, you don't have to grade, you don't have to do lesson plans. If you're interested in being one of our volunteers, we invite you. Is that on the website, Farrah?
It is on the website, but it's easier if you actually email info@challengeral.org and allow us to send you the information.
Yes.
It's a little bit easier and faster for us to respond.
And those volunteer hours, it's we know that retired teachers, they got other interests and they've got a life to live and grandchildren.
Sure.
I mean, I'm one of them. It's just whatever you have to invest in back into the community, whether it's 2 hours every week or so, or half a day, or maybe for our summer camps,
Yes.
which that's a whole different animal right there.
Yes.
We are starting our summer camp programs for which volunteers will be necessary.
Yes.
And those summer camps are exciting. They cover a huge range of
And
topics.
they're for students 3rd grade through 8th grade, actually rising 8th graders. We have a couple that can be for 9th grade, but they're on our website as well. We have robotics camps, drones camps. We've got one that's called Tinker and Tech, and it's actually like a manufacturing camp where the students actually have to develop a product that they create on the 3D printer. They also have to learn how to make a small circuit board, and they have to develop a business plan for it. It is so much fun. It's actually the camp that I'm most excited about teaching because it's all about creativity. I will tell you, my drone training last week, I did fly the drone into the ceiling. I've got to do some practicing.
No.
The drone camp is really amazing. That's my favorite.
Amazing.
There's a yellow pencil out there in the woods, and they've got to plot how they get that drone out there to retrieve it. But it involves engineering design principles as well. They are given a box of supplies, pipe cleaners, glue, tape, paper clips, what have you, and they have to design and construct an apparatus that will attach to the drone that will allow them to go out there in the woods, pick up that pencil, and bring it back.
Joe, I can see them being involved in our annual drone show.
Absolutely.
I have a
Yeah.
whole proposal.
Yeah, it's one of the
We have an
things that
idea.
this year we've ended up we're doubling the size of our drone show and then actually flying
So
2
exciting.
shows. Of course, we have so much community involvement here in Rainbow City that we're going to fly our first 15-minute show, and it's going to be the logos of all of our sponsors. Then we'll land. They'll do a recharge. We'll have some music and different things going on, activities going on for about 45 minutes, and then we'll fly our patriotic show for the 250. And we're very excited about that, but we're going to partner with Challenger and bring some students out so that they can last year we had a 23-year-old female pilot that was piloting 250 drones.
That's amazing.
And running that whole computer system and just the geotechnical part of it, because everything about a drone show is being ran off of satellites. And so I think we were hitting 13 satellites last year, the year before, even more than that. But it's just a chance for us to bring those kids out there and let them see the future of technology. And so it's a big time, but we'll have 500 drones in the air at 2 different times.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
She has a presentation for
I
you, Joe.
mean,
She's going to get with you.
I want to make our drone program come over there and see it all in action. And at the drone show was where we will have our winners of the America 250 contest
That's awesome.
announced, and they will receive their $50 prize.
And we encourage anybody out there who's got a 5th grader or a 6th grader, enter that contest. Let's see where the thinkers are. See what you think is the most important thing. And what is it? A $50 prize?
Mhm.
Yeah. There's 8 winners, $50 prize each. Be recognized at the drone show. So we're excited about that.
No, Mayor Taylor did not hurt himself flipping pancakes.
No, I did
That's the
not.
question.
As a matter of fact, I don't know how many pancakes I flipped, but it was bad enough that I had to take a nap when I got home. I mean, it was
What a great event.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
I think people look forward to just the back and forth between you and the city council
Yes.
just as much as eating the pancakes. But what a great, Joe, take a second to talk about how special that event really is.
I think it's, any of our community organizations, and we have several, but, the Lions Club is very special to Rainbow City. They do good work. They do sight for children and adults. But the thing that we've found out is that when we plugged in as a city council and we became the cooks, and that's what we do. And we take that task and we take it very seriously. And it is a big competition, this year started out and James and I were on the same grill and he didn't make the cut. I mean, we had to remove him and put him, I think he went to maybe sausage or something.
Oh.
I don't know. And
Demotion.
that's a big demotion for sure. But no, Jeff Jameson and I, And then we take that opportunity to bring our Boy Scouts in and some of our Leos from Southside High School and allow them to help us cook and just become servants of the people that are coming in that building. Of course, it's the political season, so we had politicians that were shaking hands and shaking themselves. I don't know really what was going on. There was so much going on in that room, but we actually go in the kitchen and stay in the kitchen. We don't come out in politics. Randy Weiss does and Jerry does, but they never stopped. But no, we have such a great involvement from our city council and from my office as well. We want to serve our community, and that's one of those places where we can do that by actually serving people food.
We rode by that morning and I said, what's going on? Because there were people out in the parking lot playing cornhole.
Yes.
So we're coming to eat. We're going to hang out.
Right.
It was a ball game, a paper football contest. I don't know what it was.
That's right.
It was a big time event. Hey, Andrew Ford says, hey, sorry, late to the show. Tell me when it's going to open again.
Okay, so the grand opening for Challenger is May the 8th, and it is going to be a spectacular event. So May the 8th at 11 a.m. is our grand opening. And so we will start having events. We have a few events we're doing up to that with some schools as we practice and we try out some of our stuff. And our big event is May the 8th.
You know, Andrew being ZLA, I think that's a perfect corporate sponsor.
I like it.
If we can get Andrew Ford
great
involved.
Good idea.
Andrew Ford.
I'm going to give her your number, Andrew.
We'll be in touch.
Yes, Andrew. I will be glad to take money from you.
Well, I'll say something, about our, again, it's ZLA, it's Choice Valve, it's all of our community partners, they pay back into the city. They're already paying taxes.
Yeah.
No business loves doing that, but they're paying taxes to get premium services in return. And I think that what we're finding out now is that this area supports its government as much as the government supports it, and that's not a normal combination,
right?
Because we all believe that the government's not the greatest institution in the world, but because we've gone in and with a very proactive council decided that we were going to make government look different. I think we've done that, and we found that through our business owners that are willing to come in and partner with us. SMD Metals, they're not here yet, but they're already partnering with us in so many things just because they wanted to come and be a part of our community, not just to come here and make a product. But that's a big difference.
But their building is up, right?
It's up, and it is a huge building,
massive.
And it takes a few minutes to walk around this building, and they've already signed to double the size of that floor space. Wow. So they're moving into their phase 2 before they even finish their phase 1. And this is a 4-phase operation, but this is a company that they're literally trying to change their sector of manufacturing, and they're doing it in a major way.
And they've come over to Challenger. Every time they're in town, they come over to visit
Challenger.
Yes. They want to see what we're doing. And so we have given lots of tours, and they have become one of our best partners.
Yeah. Suki Coley, he's an engineer.
Fantastic, yes.
And Suki's now like an engineer that transferred over into the business world, but he and Will Jones, they're the meat behind SMD, and they're just good people, and we're so glad to have them. That was a really, really good grab for this city.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should make Jeff the chaplain of
I like
Challenger
that.
Center.
Oh, I love that.
Official
That's a
chaplain.
good idea.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, you wouldn't find anybody better.
Yeah, because if one of those computers go down over there, they're going to need some prayer.
We're going to need lots of prayer. We're going to have a small meltdown. We're going to need some prayer, some intercessory.
Yeah, it's not going down.
Holy
We got
water.
it.
We're going to have you two ladies back on, not the Joe show. You come on yourself
Woo!
without Joe,
Welcome.
and Jeff will be here. We'll put up. We'll get the nice chair set up and stuff. But at that point, Jeff's back. We'll actually play videos during your show so people can see it. And
Absolutely.
some people are visual;
Absolutely.
they don't understand what's going on.
Absolutely, and I will be glad to. I make videos all the time, and I would love for y'all to come visit and
Sure.
take a tour.
Absolutely
And when people walk in, they oftentimes Mike Rogers came to visit. Congressman Rogers did last week, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how gigantic it is." And Jamie Grant was with us. Several of our elected officials
said, I can't believe this. This is amazing. And when you walk in and see it, it just kind of takes your breath away. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it, but it's the truth.
And, one of the things about the Challenger Center is we're all about technology, and we got the coolest toys. I mean, we have some really cool electronics in there that serve a purpose. They're not just there as toys. They actually serve a purpose to deliver instruction, to inspire students, and to help us move the whole program along.
Yes.
Joe, you want to, since you're doing my job, you want to read Andrew's comment?
Yeah, Andrew said, I would love to be involved somehow in the center. Business and manufacturing is the wheelhouse.
Oh,
There's no doubt about that. And I think, Andrew, if you get a chance to come out and just do a tour, bring some of your associates with you, because as you walk through it starts out as almost this crazy idea, and I actually called Teresa and Martha the crazy ladies, which
we wear it as a badge of honor.
Didn't land as good as I thought, but now they're starting to wear it as a badge of honor. But I think if you come out and see it, what seems to be a crazy idea of thinking we've got a space center inside Rainbow City, it kind of rolls out and reveals itself as being absolute brilliance.
Yes.
Because it is an opportunity for you to see where our kids are going and starting that journey at 5th grade, which leads into what you and I have discussed so many times, Andrew, is it's workforce development.
Yes.
That is incredible. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We're certainly going to have you two ladies back on with videos.
Yes.
We're excited.
I'll even wear my flight suit.
We'll turn the temperature down,
Yes.
so it'll be really cold.
Yes,
so
they're really hot.
so you won't have a heat
They are
stroke.
not breathable.
And as always, Mateo, thank you so much for allowing us to do your show monthly. And I'm excited about everything that's going on in the city of Rainbow
Yes,
City.
thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Jeff, we're praying for you.
Yes.
I got a lesson planned, so I'm not teaching your class tomorrow. So let's get better.